Jai Chinendra.
Jai Chinendra. Yeah, all set. अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जान रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नवाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम्ही से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। So today is our third lecture on Vitrag Vigyan part 1, and today we'll begin with lesson number 4, the 6 essentials. Very interesting topic from the point of view of Charnani Yoga. What, as a householder, we need to do on a day-to-day basis in our life. So this chapter will tell you about the 6 essentials that you need to follow externally to in order to sustain the growth, the spiritual growth that you have already achieved so far, and to improve on that. So, like we can say, this is directly related to our feeling and the manifestations that we are undergoing. So what are these 6 essentials? Basically, I'm first telling it in Hindi and then English. So first one is Dev Puja, worship of God. Then second one is Guru Upasana, devotion towards the monk. The third one is Swadhyay, self-study or studying of religious scriptures. Fourth one, Sanyam, abstinence or austerity. Fifth one, Tap, penance. Sixth one, Dan, that is charity or gift. So these are the 6 essentials that a householder is supposed to undergo every day in his life. Dev Puja, Guru Upasana, Swadhyay, Sanyam, Tap, Dan. These 6 essentials, Shat Karmani Dine Dine. So here the karma means karya, the work done. So these are the 6 work that a householder should do in his day-to-day life, and it is to be followed every day, not only for a few days but every day. So basically this will form be a part of your life, you know. So these rituals are very important, and we look at it from two point of view. One is the real point of view, nischay, and the other is the vyavhar, the conventional point of view. So from both point of view, we'll be looking at the six essentials that I just mentioned now. And when we look at it from the real point of view, nischay, then it is like that the partial purity that has been manifested by this householder uh, is the essential from the real point of view. Okay, the partial purity. And the external activity that a householder undergoes while maintaining that purity level, and along with that there are attachments, shubhrag, auspicious attachments, and because of those auspicious attachment, there are certain external activities that a householder undergoes through. Now, those external activities that a householder undergoes is called the essential from the conventional point of view. Okay. So now you know there are six essentials, and these six essentials are from two viewpoints. One is from the psychic point of view or real point of view. Okay. And the other one is from the conventional point of view or the external point of view. So there is some purity that has been manifested. Along with that purity, there is some attachment. And what kind of attachment that should be, that is what the essentials tells us about. It is not like that there you have already manifested a certain level of internal purity, but externally there is no change. It never happens. As you manifest or as you increase your purity, externally also there are changes happening. In fact, even before the purity begins, there is already a transformation externally. You can make out the changes that you are going through. Example: you have joined this Parmagam honors course. Okay. Before joining also, your life was going on. It was not that your life had stopped, it was going on. Now, you can make out that every Saturday, you have a commitment to attend these classes. So now somebody asks you, let's go for a picnic on Saturday. You said, no, Saturday I have classes, I cannot miss that. So these are some of the changes that has happened in your life. Now you are giving priorities to these classes against any of the other things. So this is the changes that you have undergone. And why you are doing that? Because this is something going to change your life for the better. There are other activities also, bonding with friends, going for a picnic, any entertainment form of entertainment or any other social engagement is always there. But now your priorities have changed. Why? Because you found that this is going to benefit me more than anything else, because everything else is going to remain here. My age is limited in this life. And once I complete that age, I am going to leave everything here, all my wealth, all my friends, all my interest, hobbies, and last but not the least, my body. I'm going to leave everything because this doesn't belong to me. I am a soul. And when I say I'm a soul, so automatically it goes that what is your function? So then I say that I am a soul. My function is to just know and see. Gyata, drashta. Gyata is a knower, drashta is a seer. So I am only a knower and seer. I cannot go beyond that. Now, the problem is that I believe that I am a doer. I believe that I am that thing. I believe that this thing belongs to me. And then I do believe that I am doer of those things, and I'm also consumption or experiencing those feelings also. Karta and Bhokta. So Ekatva Buddhi, Mamatva Buddhi, Kartutva Buddhi, and Bhoktutva Buddhi. Because of these four things, my delusion persists. And when the delusion is still there, then I am not able to realize myself. Okay. And until and unless I realize myself, I experience myself, my spiritual journey, my journey to the path of liberation does not begin. Okay. So, through these essentials, we will understand not only about the internal purity that has been manifested, but simultaneously the attachment, auspicious attachment that goes along with that purity. We will also understand what quality of those auspicious attachment are. And because of those auspicious attachment, what my mind, speech, and body activities would be. Okay. Now, somebody, who is into bad company, and he also wakes up every day. We also wake up every day. But when he wakes up, his mind runs to those things. Uh, how can I get, how can I steal money? How can I do cheating? All his mind goes there and there only. And he may be successful, he may not be successful, but his thoughts are like that. So even if he is not doing any wrong activity, but he is binding inauspicious karma always, and we, because of our this inclination to understand religion, the inclination to progress in this path of liberation, we are always finding ways and means to connect to ourselves. Now, we may not be successful as we would like to be, but still 24 hours we are binding auspicious karma of the highest level. This auspicious karmas in future, when it comes to fruition, will bring in our life those associations through which I can get ahead in the path of liberation. Then there are other peoples like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Ambani and Adani and Azim Premji. These are all, they've got enough wealth, they are the wealthiest people, you can say. But they have also got auspicious rise of auspicious karma, but they don't have access to this kind of knowledge through which we are going to close our transmigration once and for all. We are going to get liberated. There will be no sufferings, only enjoyment, eternal bliss, So this is something our auspicious karma that we bound in previous birth has brought us to this level where we have got access to this kind of scriptures, to this kind of course, to this kind of teachings, to this kind of interest, to this kind of what you call. All these auspicious activities are just as a fruit of my previous bondage, But these bondage is of a different kind, wherein I am more into moving away from sensory pleasures to move towards the spiritual upliftment. Okay, so it's like that. So these auspicious karmas are of such nature that in future we will get holy assembly, Samosaran, we'll get Tirthankars, and we will be directly listening to his sermons, and we will manifest the purity in us, will increase the purity, will become a monk, will attain omniscience knowledge, and will get liberated. All this is going to happen very shortly. So we are the chosen few, the luckiest few, but having said that, we need to put in efforts in the right direction. Okay, then only we'll be able to these things. So as a householder, monks has got different kind of essentials. Monks have also got 6 essentials, and those are different from a householder. So we are going to study today householder 6 essential, because by and large we are all householder. Okay, so basically this is for us only, and by following these 6 essentials externally and internally, we will be increasing our purity, internal purity. Simultaneously, the bondage of auspicious karma will also happen, and those kind of auspicious karma wherein the fruition of which in future will bring us close to our spiritual journey. Okay, so all these things goes on simultaneously. There is an internal purity, along with that there is a auspicious attachment, and according to that, corresponding to that auspicious attachment, there is activity of mind, speech, and body. 3 things. Internal purity, along with that auspicious attachment, and along with that auspicious attachment, the activity of mind, speech, and body. Understood, Jia? So name the 3 things that goes on simultaneously, and that is what we are going to discuss today in 6 essentials.
You want me to answer?
Yeah, I am asking you.
So one is the auspicious karmas they bind because of uh,
So first is one is the internal purity.
internal
Okay.
purity.
Along with internal purity, there are auspicious attachment, rag, So पवित्रता है, then राग है, और राग के अनुसार मन वचन काय एक्टिविटी.
Okay.
So internal purity, auspicious attachment, and corresponding to that auspicious attachment, activity of mind, speech, and body. All things going simultaneously. So now in this chapter, we will be looking at the mind, speech, and body activities. Okay. And the corresponding internal purity. So corresponding internal purity will be from the real point of view, and the external activities will be from the conventional point of view. Both will go hand in hand simultaneously. Okay. So now we'll read the chapter. You will be able to understand it. So when we talk of internal purity, the external activities would be different. There are 6 activities, okay? 6 essentials, so 6 activities. So external activities would be different, but internally it's all same, because when we talk of purity, it is only of one kind. There are no different kinds of purities. Impurities of different kinds. Impurities do have inauspicious karma and auspicious karma, okay? So then there are 2 categories. But as far as purity is concerned, there is no other category. It is only of one type. So when we'll talk of the 6 external activities, okay, along with that, we'll also talk of internal purities. But in terms of internal purity, everything will be same in all the 6 cases, because there is no variety. But the in the external activities, there will be difference, varieties, okay? So now I think you will be able to understand this chapter very easily. So Pratibhaji, you start reading. I'll make you the co-host, Jia.
Yeah. Also, sir, I wanted to ask, what is internal purity in Hindi?
Internal purity means by taking shelter in our own soul, we have in our manifestation or in our modification, not manifestation, but we in our modification have manifested a certain level of purity. Purity means absence of delusion, attachment, and aversion. Absence of auspicious and inauspicious sentiments. Okay. So there are 3 kinds of sentiments only: auspicious, inauspicious, and pure. So when auspicious and inauspicious is not there, it is pure. Okay. So out of these 3, one will always be there. Okay. So now we have manifested this pure internal purity. And along with that, there will be auspicious attachments. And along with that auspicious attachment, there will be activity of mind, speech, and body. All things going simultaneously. Okay. So when we talk of 6 essentials, it will be from 2 viewpoints. One is from the internal point of view, which will be same in all the 6 cases, because in purity, as I said, there are no varieties. It's only of one type only. And when we'll talk of the external activities, there will be 6 different activities, the 6 essentials. Okay. So this is the whole thing about the chapter. You need to understand the essentials from the real point of view and from the conventional point of view. That's all. It's only a small chapter. Now,
Right.
who Pratibhaji is going to read, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Jia, you will share.
So it shows that you've disabled screen sharing. Can you make me the co-host?
Pardon?
It shows that you've disabled screen sharing. Can you make me the co-host?
I made you just now. Times doesn't happen. Yeah, it's not happen. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Page number 17, lesson 4. 6 essence. You have the book with you, Pratibhaji?
I don't have in English. Can I please get it?
Yeah, so you can see from the screen, okay?
Yeah, 1 second. I think I'm having some trouble with my computer right now. I don't know why.
Okay, then I will ask Roshni ji to
Yeah,
read.
1 second. I think it just went on the wrong page. Yeah, I'm there.
Okay,
Oh my
okay,
God.
fine.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, I don't know why. Okay, there I am. I'm right here.
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry about that.
no problem.
Okay, 6 essential. Religious discourse is in progress in temple. The preacher is speaking and the listeners are hearing attentively. Preacher, all the creatures of this world like to be happy and are afraid of grief. They try their best to save themselves from this grief, but they do not know the correct remedy of getting rid of grief, and so they remain unhappy. Listener 1. Then what is the real remedy of saving oneself of grief from grief? Preacher, to understand the soul and absorb ourselves therein is the real remedy, and in fact, that is our essential duty. Listener 2, you have begun to talk of the monks. What should we householders do to gain true happiness? Preacher, remedy to destroy grief and obtain real happiness is common to all. It is another thing that monks, by dint of their strong determination, achieve greater happiness, and householders, according to their background, achieve partial happiness. The householders with true faith who treads over this path has auspicious inclination also along with the essential associated with the partial sublimation. These are called external essentials. They are six in kind: worship of God, devotion towards the monk, self study, abstinence, penance, and charity. Listener, please explain this in brief. The partial purity of the householder with true faith is real psychic worship of God, and recitation of his qualities after comprehending the real nature of God is external worship. The householder worship God, offering eight substance, reflecting upon the great attributes of non-attachment, omniscience, and other perfect qualities, and that is called external worship. Likewise, partial purity of householder having right faith is psychic devotion towards the monks and to reflect upon the attributes of the monks after understanding their real nature is the external devotion. You have been told before that the Arantas and the Siddhas are called gods, while the Acharyas, Upadhyas, and Sadhus are all monks. Partial purity befitting the householder with faith is psychic self study and to study the scriptures, expounding the fundamentals of Jainism and to reflect upon them is external self study. I think is a listener one now, right? So I have known these three essential. What are the other three? Preacher, partial purity of all souls befitting a householder with real faith is psychic abstinence, and it is it accompaniments because it's not clear it's the print is not that clear, but I think it's
Accompaniments,
accompaniment
right, right.
of non-violence and control of senses or external abstinence. The partial purity of the soul of the householder, that is, the avoidance of merits and demerits, is psychic penance and consequent auspicious inclinations for fasting, etc., or external penance. The partial purity suitable to the householder is psychic charity, that is, giving purity to our own beings and to give money, etc., to others, that is, for the good of the giver and those who receive this, is external charity. It is of four kinds: gift of food, gift of knowledge, gift of medicine, and gift of fearlessness. Listener, what is the difference between the psychic essentials and external ones? Preacher, psychic essentials are pure religious tendencies to that remove bondage, and external essentials are cause of merit bondage. Psychic essentials are of those householders alone who have real consciousness, desire to worship God, and perform other essentials also arise in the minds of householder. Not having real consciousness on account of mild passions and merits, such householders have merit bondage, but that is not real religion of the soul. Listener, if you preach like that, householders not having correct consciousness will discard the essentials like worship of God, etc. Preacher, expounding religious fruits is for the unliftment of the soul. If people discard essentials like worship of God and tread on wrong path, they will face demerits. Therefore, it is not desirable to stop worship of God, etc.
Hmm. So, what was common among the six essentials?
Doing the prayers, worshiping God, I mean, consciously or unconsciously, they were still praying.
Okay. Rashni, tell me, all the six definitions about the essentials, one thing was common. What it was? Can you make out?
They both have psychic and um, निश्चय और
Yes.
व्यवहार
Very
दोनों
good.
है.
Very good.
Mhm.
And in that nischay, the internal purity, the everywhere it was being considered that the internal purity of the soul of the householder, that was being defined as the correspondent to external activity. So external activities were six different activities, okay? But internally it was the same internal purity, internal purity, internal purity, okay? So this partial purity that the householder has manifested, and with that partial purity, there is some attachment left over. And
Mhm.
because of this attachment, there is some auspicious activity externally going on. And those six activities are the essentials. Okay. So, because three things again you can see from the definition. One is the internal purity, which is the real point of view, essential.
Mhm.
Okay. Then there
Mhm.
is the auspicious attachment, that is along with that purity, it's also going on simultaneously. And because of that auspicious attachment, there is a bodily activity or mind, body, and speech activity that is going on. Okay. And that is the conventional point of view essential. Okay. So now you can see I will take one definition. Uh, Worship of God, First of all, who have remembered the six essential? Because this is what we have to follow every day as a householder. Okay. So which one is the first? Worship of God. Second, devotion towards the monk.
Mhm.
Third one is self-study. It is actually Swadhyay. In Hindi, it is Swadhyay. So, because the swa is involved, so they translate it to self-study, but actually it is studying of religious scriptures. Swadhyay is studying of religious scriptures. So, what we are doing right now is Swadhyay. Okay. And the fourth one is abstinence. Okay. Abstinence is austerity, sanyam, restraint. Then the fifth one is penance, tap. And the sixth one is actually dan. So dan is basically gift, or we can also call it as charity. So these are the 6 essentials, and you have to remember these 6 names. So in Hindi, we have one two-liner for this. Dev Puja, Guru Pasti, Swadhyaya, Sanyam Tap, Sanyamasa Tap, Sanyamasa Tapaha. Dana Cheti Grihasthanam Shat Karmani Dine Dine. That means a householder should follow the 6 essential Dine Dine every day. Not a single day you have to miss out on this. Okay. So that's why we always prefer to have our house near the temple. So the first thing in the morning that we should do after taking our bath and getting fresh is that we should go to the temple. Okay. And when we go to the temple and see the Arhant Pratima over there, the Tirthankar's Pratima over there, our sentiments changes, our feeling changes, and that is how we begin our day. And then how the whole day we try to get connected with the self, and so worship of God is the first essential of an householder. Then the second is devotion towards the monk. Then the third is studying of religious scriptures. Then that is abstinence, penance, and charity, all put together is there. Okay. So these 6 essentials are very important. Now we are looking at the definition of the first one, the worship of God. The partial purity of the householder with true faith. By saying true faith, they mean that he is an enlightened householder. Okay. So yeah, here it is. The partial purity of the householder with true faith. True faith means he is not under the influence of delusion. Okay. He has got the right faith. Is real psychic worship of God. Now by psychic, he wants to say that it's the essential from the point of view of real point of view. Okay. So the partial purity of the householder with true faith is real psychic worship of God, and recitation of his quality after comprehending the real nature of God is external worship. The householder, ask.
So in the first sentence, it says the partial purity with true faith is real psychic worship of God.
Right.
Why isn't it full purity if it's real psychic worship of God?
Because he is a householder right now, no? So
Oh.
at this level, it is only partial purity.
Okay.
In fact, in the 4th stage, a householder could be in the 4th or 5th stage. Okay. So, and before that also, 4th also, even if he is in the first one, he is still considered a householder. So from first spiritual stage to he goes to the 4th spiritual stage, and from 4th he goes to the 5th. So he can be anywhere in the fourth and fifth, okay? Because he has got true faith, okay? So true faith means either he is in the fourth or in the fifth. Now, you can ask why he is not in the sixth and seventh or beyond that, because all those belongs to a monk, okay? All those stages belongs to a monk. So until and unless you are becoming a monk, you can go maximum to fifth stage. So either it is fourth or fifth, because these are the two stages where an enlightened householder would be. Beyond that, he will become a monk. Before that, he will be remaining as an ordinary householder. But attaining the fourth one means he became a enlightened householder. So you see, the partial purity of the householder with true faith is real psychic worship of God, and recitation of his qualities after comprehending the real nature of God is external worship. The householder worships God offering 8 substances. 8 substances, you go to the temple, there are plates, still thalis are there, and in that thali there are 8 different substances which are there, and through those 8 substances we do the puja. Okay. The householder worships God offering 8 substances, reflecting upon the great attribute of non-attachment, omniscience, and other perfect qualities that is called external worship. Okay. So going to the temple and offering 8 substances, and through that 8 substances performing the activity of puja. Okay. That is worship from external point of view or the conventional point of view, and the partial purity that the householder has manifested is worship of God from the real point of view.
So I had a question.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, so without doing external worship, how do you do real psychic worship of God? Like, how does that work? If you
So
don't like
as I
external
said, ki
worship.
both will go on simultaneously. No, if there is an internal purity, it will somewhere reflect on the external also. Okay. It may not happen that you have attained the purity of that level, and so for each and every level, there is an specific external activities. Now, if the householder is in the fourth stage, okay, so he has got internal purity, okay, but the external activity does not support or is not inclined to austerity, penance, all these activities, because he is in the fourth stage. But if he attains the fifth stage, then all these activities will be there in his life. Okay. So as you increase your purity, correspondingly, your attachments also decreases, the auspicious attachment, and corresponding to that, your mind, body, and speech also changes. Okay.
But
As
why do we have to reduce our auspicious attachment?
we are not reducing the auspicious attachment, we are we are increasing our purity. Okay. The whole journey began only when the purity, when we did the self-realization, when we experienced our soul, the rise of internal purity began. Okay. Earlier there were no internal purity. Only 2 types of activities, either it is auspicious activity or it is inauspicious activities. There was no third category being manifested. But as you took shelter in yourself, okay, you transform your active consciousness from externally objects to internally towards your soul, and that active consciousness became one with your soul, and that is the stage of self-realization, Atmanubhav. Okay, and with that started the internal purity journey. So internally, there was purity of certain level. Now, as you kept on practicing this distinctive knowledge, your internal purity kept on increasing. So here the internal purity increased, simultaneously the attachment got reduced. Auspicious attachment, the auspicious attachment that you were having of earlier on the fourth stage, now the auspicious attachment has taken a different kind of role, and because of that role, your mind, speech, and body activities have changed. Okay, so everything will go on simultaneously. Here, the internal purity will increase, and there will be changes in the auspicious attachments, and there will be changes in the external activities. Okay. So the first essential about worship of God that we understood. Now we'll see the devotion towards the monk, the second essential. Likewise, similarly, partial purity of the householder having right faith is psychic devotion towards the monks. Okay. So this remains the same everywhere. And to reflect upon the attributes of the monk after understanding their real nature is their external devotion. Okay. You have been told before that Aryans and Siddhas are called gods, while the Acharyas, Upadhyas, and Sadhu are all monks. So Aryan and Siddh is Dev, and Acharya, Upadhyaya, and Sadhus are all monks. Now moving on to the third definition. Partial purity befitting the householder with faith. With faith means with right faith, with true faith, is psychic self-study. And to study the scriptures expounding the fundamentals of Jainism and to reflect upon them is external self-study. Studying of religious scriptures is external, and internally is the partial purity. Now the next one, the abstinence. Okay, the essential of abstinence. So again, partial purity of the soul befitting a householder with real faith is psychic abstinence, and its accompaniments of non-violence and control of senses are external abstinence. Okay. So accompaniment of non-violence and control of senses are external abstinence. The next one, the partial purity of the soul of the householder, that is avoidance of merits and demerits, is psychic penance. And the consequent auspicious inclinations for fasting, etc., are external penance. So in all, there are 12 kinds of penance, tap, that a householder, basically it's more related to a monk, this penance, but still the householder also do penance, and these are anshan, aumodarya, upvas and all. These are all the external tap. Okay, consuming not any kind of food, That means today you are whole day free. You don't have to do any activity. So you will be able to spare more time on concentrating on the self or doing meditation. So these are tap is for that. Now dan. The partial purity suitable to the householder is psychic charity, giving purity to our own beings and to give money, etc., to others, that is for the good of the giver, and those who receive these is external charity. Okay. So in this external charity, there is giver and there is a receiver. Okay. So if there are two parties involved, then only an activity of giving can be performed. Okay. There should be some there is someone to receive and someone has to give. Both of them put together forms the activity of gift. Now this gift is of four kinds: gift of food, gift of knowledge, gift of medicines, and gift of fearlessness. Ahardan, Aushadhidan, Gyandan, and Abhaydan. Now tell me, out of these four gifts, which is the best gift?
Second one, gift of knowledge.
Jia, which one is the best gift out of the four?
Gift of knowledge.
Gift of knowledge. Why it is better than the other three?
It will help someone reach moksha, like if they
Hmm.
understand the teachings,
Hmm.
and it will help with their next. It will help their atma with the next bhav too.
Yes. So that Gyan the gift of knowledge is the most important, because all these things, if you gift a food, then that will be benefiting him in this birth only. Okay. Again, medicine is going to benefit in this birth only. And again, fearlessness is also going to benefit in this birth only. But this knowledge is going to come with you in the next birth also. Okay. So it is not limited to this birth only, but gift of knowledge is something that is going to carry it forward in his next births also. And not only is going to take it forward there, but it's going to increase his knowledge as he goes up in the spiritual ladder, and at one time will come when he will manifest complete knowledge, 100%, omniscient. Okay. He knows everything simultaneously in one moment. So this is the potential that we do all have, but it is about manifesting that potential. That is very important. Okay, so gift of knowledge is the most important gift of all the four, because it is something that you take along with you in the next birth. All other things remain here only. Okay, so this is the most important gift. Now, the coming into the main question, what is the difference between the psychic essential and the external ones? Now, who has understood this? What is the difference between the psychic essential and the external ones? Anybody can explain what is the difference?
Sir, psychic essentials lead us to make our soul pure, whereas
Yes, very good.
the other, the the conventional essentials lead to bondage of
Oh,
auspicious karma.
Arey wow, very good. Perfect answer. You know, you knew it before or today only you learned?
I knew it before, and actually, I've had a question. So when we talk about pure soul, that's the same as vitragi, right?
Right,
Vitraka. Okay.
right. So our internally, our pure soul is vitragi only. Okay. And just when we look at vitragi thing, it automatically gets manifested in our sentiments. Okay. So when we look at external objects, there is a rise of attachment. Okay. But when we look internally at our soul, and just because our soul is vitragi, so externally also vitragta manifests. Very simple. Now vitragta means happiness. Vitragta means bliss. Okay. So our nature is full of bliss. To manifest bliss is our nature. But because of attachment and aversions and the external activities, we are not able to manifest our internal purity. We all are having internal purities. But because of our attachment and aversions, we are not able to manifest that. Okay. So that is the problem. So what is the difference between the psychic essentials and the external ones that we were discussing? So the first difference is that psychic essentials are pure religious tendencies. Okay. It is the internal purity that a soul undergoes. And this is connected with dissociation of karmas or the removal of bondage. It removes bondage. Okay. And external essentials are causes of merit bondage. So you're binding auspicious karmas. That's all. So here with internal purity, you are actually dissociating yourself with the karmas. Actually, it is happening, nirjara is happening. Okay. And the external essentials are causing merit bondage. So one is liberating, helping you in liberation, uh, and the other is helping you in bondage. Okay. So this is the basic difference. Psychic essentials are of those holders alone who have real consciousness. By telling real consciousness, they are meaning that he is an enlightened soul. Desire to worship God and perform other essentials also arise in the minds of householder, does not having real consciousness. Okay. So these kind also rise in the minds of householder who is still not enlightened one, not having real consciousness. On account of mild passions and merits, such householders have merit bondage, but that is not real religion of the soul. Okay. So real religion is manifesting the internal purity, and along with that internal purity, if you are manifesting auspicious attachments, then it is not the religion of the soul. On account of mild passions and merit, such householders have merit bondage, but that is not real religion of the soul. If you preach like that, householders not having correct consciousness will discard the essentials like worship of God. Okay. So this merit bondage, the problem is here that this merit bondage or the auspicious sentiments that a soul undergoes through, uh, that is binding the karma. So we cannot consider that to be religion. Now, what people started doing, because the Acharyas said this thing that it is also binding karma. So what they do is, what they did is, they left that activity itself. Now, if you have not developed internal purity, okay, and you still live the auspicious activities, then where you land up? Jia, where you land up? You tell me. Internal purity you have not developed. Auspicious activities you are living, then where you will get involved?
It will just cause more inauspicious karma then.
Then you will get involved yourself in the inauspicious activities, and with that you will bind inauspicious karmas, and that inauspicious karmas will take you to hell and nigod and uh, other transmigration state where you will be suffering more, So we should not leave the activity, auspicious activity, but we should develop a correct understanding that this auspicious activity is binding karmas and it is not the true religion. Okay. We can call it religion from conventional point of view, but from the real point of view, it is a cause of bondage. And that one which is causing a bondage, how could it be religion? How could it be a religion? Okay. So you should not leave auspicious activity, but you should leave your belief that this auspicious activity is religion. That belief you should leave it. Okay. So this was all about the chapter. We have covered everything, and if you have any questions on this chapter, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll move to the next chapter of karma.
Jai Jinendra, sir.
Hmm.
Living in a household,
Hmm.
how how can we stay away from certain duties? Matlab, it's a little difficult.
What kind of duties you are talking about? Inauspicious activities or auspicious activities?
No, like in staying in a house, when you're in a family,
Right.
so we are bound to do certain things.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That becomes inauspicious. No?
So you are being a householder, we have in our life auspicious and inauspicious, both kind of activities. Okay. We go to the
Yes.
temple, we do swadhyay. These are all auspicious activities. And
Yeah.
we prepare food, then we do business, and
Yes.
all these are inauspicious activities.
So
So
I understand that.
both goes on simultaneously, and still we can manifest the pure sentiment also. That at this stage we can do it. We cannot
both
become.
goes hand in hand.
Pardon?
Both goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
When
So as an householder, three things will go hand in hand. There will be internal purity. Along with that internal purity, there will be attachment. Okay. Auspicious attachment will be there, and inauspicious attachment also will be there. So with auspicious attachment, you will be doing good things in life like puja, bhakti, swadhyay, pilgrim visit, charity, penance, abstinence.
yes.
All these are, you will be doing it. Okay. But there will be some inauspicious activities also in life, like preparing food and taking care of the children and then doing business, earning money, all these activities are inauspicious. And of course, uh, there are some sensory objects that also we indulge in. Okay, so all these are inauspicious. Then there are some kind of violence that we undergo, you know. So these are all inauspicious activities. Okay.
Okay,
Now,
sir.
as we increase our internal purity, the auspicious activities will also simultaneously increase and inauspicious activities will decrease. Okay. And a
Okay, sir.
time will come that we will manifest 100% of internal purity, and there will be no auspicious and inauspicious activities. Okay, 100% internal purity achieved. So there is 0% auspicious and inauspicious activities. And henceforth, very shortly, you will get liberated. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
when we manifest 100% internal purity, that is the stage of 12th stage of spiritual development. Okay, 12th stage. So after 12th stage,
Yeah.
you will attain the 13th stage where you become an omniscient. And after that, you traverse the 14th stage and then you get liberated.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other questions?
No, sir. Not from
Okay,
my side.
yeah. So we'll move on to the next
Okay.
chapter.
Thank you, sir.
Karma is a very good chapter in the sense that we are all associated with karmas since time immortal. It is not that previously we were free of karma and suddenly the karma came and made an attachment with us. It is not that. Soul is there since time immortal. So along with the soul, the karmas is also there since time immortal. As we dig out gold, we don't get gold only. Along with gold, there is mud also. And then subsequently, we take that thing and heat it. And with the heat, all the impurities goes away. And that's where we get the pure gold. But when we took it out from the mines, it was with muds and internal impurities. Okay. Similarly, the soul and the karmas are there together since time immortal. Okay. And to get rid of these karmas is the liberation. Okay. So this chapter is taken from Gomatsar Karma Kand. Okay. And this Gomatsar Karma Kand is written by Siddhant Chakravarti Nemi Chandra Acharya. Okay. So we'll read the introduction of the author Nemi Chandra Acharya. Okay. Siddhant Chakravarti Nemi Chandra Acharya. And then we will read the chapter. So first, Madhuji, you read. Yeah.
So actually, I'll have to leave because I have a lecture.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'll
So
then uh, yeah, you do
Yeah.
have
someone,
lectures.
yeah, someone
So
else will have to share screen.
1 minute. Mm, who else can share the screen? I'll make a co-host. Okay, then I will do it myself. You can go, Jia. No
Thank
problem.
you, Jai Jinendra.
Thank you.
I can share the screen.
Okay, then I'll make you a co-host. You are now the co-host.
And let me go. Oh,
No problem. You take your time, and till that time, who has got the?
oh yeah. Did you see the screen? My screen?
Not now.
Karma. Lesson 5, karma. Is that the way to do it?
No, you have to first open that PDF in your computer.
I did. It's in my computer. It's
And
on my
now
screen.
you
Yeah.
go, you click on the sharing.
Oh, I have to push
Yeah.
the share screen.
Yes, you push the share
Oh, okay.
screen.
Because last time I pushed and it says that it needs approval.
Now it's okay.
Did you see that?
Yeah, now,
Mm.
yeah, it's okay.
We see it.
So, I think next time you won't forget. Now you know. Because you've done 2-3 times, so now
I'm not technical.
yeah, no problem. But you have still tried and done it. Good. So now
Sir.
who was reading? I think.
Sir, in between now, my screen is going away.
Okay,
So
now
I'm having difficulty. So
okay.
can anyone else read?
Yes.
It's it's happening often again.
Okay.
So,
Arya, you read.
Can you hear me, sir?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Just as a Chakravarti, with the help of Sudarshan Dev, conquered the sixth great land, and by the virtue of my great quest of conscience, accumulated the six children of scriptures of Jain philosophy, Shatkamraha. He was known as the Siddhanta Chakravarti, the repository of God prevailing philosophy and by omniconscious laws of the Ganga Jain order. He was the contemporary of the Jain king, Brahman who whose time is the first part of the 11th century, so he lived in his grandeur. He was not an ordinary scholar. His great living works, Gomatsar, Jivan Kand, Gomatsar, Karma Kand, Triloksar, Labdisar, Saptasar are shining examples of the extraordinary erudition and sample consideration for the writing of Siddhartha Chakravarti, that is the great master of fundamental history. Shall I read more, sir?
Still complete this introduction.
Yeah. On the persuasion of he wrote Gomatsar, Dr. Essence, taking the essence of unavailable works of great Acharya. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute. So actually, I'm traveling. So
Oh, you are traveling. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
in the
what.
auto right.
So the
That is
disturbance
why
is.
you.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So sorry.
No problem. Then I'll just complete it. So there are 4 available commentaries on this great work. Mand Prabodhika. Okay. Mand Prabodhika is a Sanskrit commentary by Abhay Chandracharya. Then Jeev Tattva Pradipika, a commentary by Keshav Verma. So these are all the commentaries on the Shat Khandagam. Okay, these are commentaries on Shat Khandagam, and Khandagam means Shat means 6. So there are 6 divisions. So out of these, there is Gomatsar Jeev Kand, there is Gomatsar Karm Kand, Triloksar, Labdisar, Sapnasar, and Trilok, Labdi, Shapna, and one more. So all these put together, 6 are there, and a commentary has been written on this. So the first one is Manda Prabodhika by Abhay Chandracharya. Then we have Jeev Tattva Pradipika by Keshav Verma in Kannada mixed with Sanskrit. Then we have Jeev Tattva Pradipika, a Sanskrit commentary by another Nemi Chandracharya. So this is another Nemi Chandra. This is Siddhanta Chakravarti Nemi Chandra. then this is Nemi Chandra by this name, same name, but another person. Then we have Samyak Gyan Chandrika, Hindi commentary by Acharya Kalp, Pandit Todarmal ji. Okay. So basically, the 5 books, the commentaries on 5 books, and because these are the 5 books taken, so it is also called Panch Sangra. So these 5 names are here. I was just thinking why the 6th name is not there, but these are the 5 names. Gomatsar Jeevkand, Gomatsar Karmkand, Triloksar, Labdisar, and Shapna Sar. The lesson is based on Gomatsar Karmakand. Okay. So we do have Gomatsar Jeevkand in our syllabus in the 10th Sem, but we don't have this Gomatsar Karmakand, but very detailed study of the karma theory. And karma theory is an integral part of our daily life. So it's very important that we understand it also. Okay. So we do have papers on karma's theories, starting from this to every semester you will have something to learn about karmas, some way or the other way. Now this story, this article is particularly a conversation between a student and his guru, okay, his master. The student is Chamunda Rai, who was a king. He was a contemporary of King Kamunda Rai, and it was because of his request that Acharya Nemi Chandra had written this commentaries on all these 5 topics, So Chamunda Rai was a king, Jain king, and he was a contemporary to Nemi Chandra Acharya, and he was his disciple. So this conversation between a disciple and his master, in this form, this article has been written. So Chamunda Rai is the disciple and Acharya Nemi Chandra is the master or the guru. Chamunda Rai. Now somebody would read this chapter.
So should I read?
Yeah, Shefali ji, aap padhiye.
Yeah. Karma. Why is this soul unhappy? Wherein lies the good of the soul? Good of the soul is happiness without restlessness. That can be accomplished only by taking refuge in the soul. This being, however, has forgotten his sentient soul, and indulged in all sorts of unnatural inclinations, and is therefore unhappy. We have known that karma is the cause of this misery. No, not so. When this soul, forgetting itself, indulges in all sorts of impure deeds and feelings of delusion, attachment, and aversion, fruition of karma is called conventional cause thereof. Karma does not force our souls to indulge in these demerits. What is this conventional cause? When substances assume different forms of their own accord, the existence of those elements that are harmonious to these assumptions are described as their causes. These are nimittas, that is, passive instruments. When this soul, on account of its own feelings, assumes different virtuous or vicious manifestations, karma is called conventional cause thereof. It is all right that this soul is, of its own, unhappy, not on account of consciousness obstructing or other karmas. But what is this feeling of the soul? Forgetting oneself and regarding other entities as desirables and undesirables, and indulging in psychic karmas as delusions, attachments, and aversions is the feeling of the soul. So we want to go up. What is psychic karma? With the fruition of karmas, This being indulges in imperfections like delusions, attachments, and aversions. These are psychic karmas. These delusions, etc., the passive causes of karmic matter, get associated with our souls. They are called material karmas. So, psychic karmas are delusions, attachments, aversions, etc., which originate in the soul, and the karmic matter turned into karmas in the material karma. Originally, karmas are of 8 kinds. Of these, sentinels
So let's
obstructing.
stop this. Let's understand up to this, and then we'll
Yeah,
move on
okay.
to the
Move
8 types
on.
of karmas. Okay.
Karmas. Yeah.
So, so the chapter begins that why is this soul unhappy? Wherein lies the good of the soul? Good of the soul is happiness without restlessness. Okay. Nirakul Sukh. God, good of the soul is happiness without restlessness. This can be accomplished only by taking refuge in the soul. So, this much you have to understand and decide that our journey of happiness begins when we take refuge in our soul. Okay? Unless and until we take shelter in our soul, there cannot be beginning of any kind of religion or our happiness or our journey to liberation. Okay. So first and foremost thing is that we have to take refuge in our soul. And we have been taking refuge in external objects since time immortal. Now the transformation from external objects to the soul is a function of our studies. The more we studies and, nail our active consciousness, to come to our soul is what we need to do. And if we are able to do that, then of course our active consciousness, which was indulging in external objects, five sensory pleasures and other activities through mind, speech, and body, Now that active consciousness has to be removed from there or transformed from there, and it should be inclined inwards. And when it is inclined inwards, it takes shelter in his own soul. And that is the stage when self-realization happens. And when the self-realization happens, the process, you are into the path of liberation, and the process of getting rid of karmas, starts. So if you want to become happy, permanently happy, then you have to take refuge in the soul. This being means this soul, however, has forgotten his sentient soul. So he has forgotten that he himself is a sentient soul. He himself is the sentient soul and indulge in all sorts of unnatural inclination and is therefore unhappy. So what is the chief cause of unhappiness? Tell me. What is the chief cause of unhappiness?
Indulging in unnatural inclinations.
Okay. And
Delusions.
oh,
Yeah,
very good.
delusions.
Delusions. Okay. Then
delusions, attachments, and also aversions.
Okay. What else?
Hmm.
Forgetting. Forgetting himself. Forgetting itself. When the soul is forgetting itself, it indulges in all sorts of impure deeds and feelings
And
of delusion, attachment, and aversion. So the first part is forgetting itself. Now, what do you mean by forgetting itself? Means my name is Rajesh. So if I forget my name, that is the forgetting that is being talked about here, or it is something else. What it is?
forgetting a real nature, that is the
Forgetting
nature of the
itself
soul.
means, how do we forget ourselves? You tell me.
Forgetting a real nature of the soul, sir.
Forgetting ourselves means not believing ourselves as a soul, believing ourselves as something else than the soul. That is, sometimes we believe that we are the body, sometimes we believe that we are the toxic emotions, sometimes we believe that we are, these are all mine, associations are all mine. These are some of the things that we believe in. That means forgetting itself. Okay. When the soul is forgetting itself, indulges in all sorts of impure deeds and feelings of delusion, attachment, and aversion. Fruition of karma is called conventional cause thereof. Okay.
Hmm.
So this karma does not force our souls to indulge in these demerits, but because we forget ourselves and we indulge in impure deeds and feelings of delusion, attachment, and aversion, fruition of karma is called conventional cause thereof. Okay. So there is something happening at the soul level. Okay. Corresponding to that, there is something happening at the karmas level. And because of that karmas, there is something happening at the mind, body, and speech level. Three things again going on simultaneously. One is the internal purity or the function of the soul. Then along with that, there is some attachments. And according to that attachment, there is some activity of mind, speech, and body. All these are going on simultaneously. Karma does not force our souls to indulge in these demerits. Okay.
Hmm.
But we only, through our mistake, by forgetting ourselves and indulging in impure deeds, okay, we get involved in this kind of demerits. What is this conventional cause? When substance assume different forms of their own accord, the existence of those elements that are harmonious to these assumptions are described as their cause, as their causes. These are nimittas, that is positive, that is passive instruments. So these karmas are nimitts. Okay. When substance assume different forms of their own accord. Okay. The existence of those elements that are harmonious to these assumptions are described as their cause. I'll just read the Hindi part, so I think you can connect better.
Yeah. Yes.
यह निमित्त क्या होता है? निमित्त मतलब कन्वेंशनल कॉज, ठीक है। जब पदार्थ स्वयं कार्य रूप परिणमे, तब कार्य की उत्पत्ति में अनुकूल होने का आरोप जिस पर आ सके उसे निमित्त कारण कहते हैं। जब पदार्थ स्वयं कार्य रूप परिणमे, when substance assume different forms of their own accord, तब कार्य की उत्पत्ति में the existence of those elements that are harmonious to these assumptions are described as their causes. These are nimitta or passive instrument. When this soul, on account of its own failings, assumes when this soul, on account of its own failings, assumes different virtuous or vicious manifestation, karma is called conventional cause thereof. Okay, so this soul, because of its own failings, assumes different virtuous or vicious manifestation, then karma is called the nimit, external factor. So karmas are always nimit or the external factor, and internally the soul manifests himself. Okay, manifests itself. So that is called upadan and this is called nimit. जब पदार्थ स्वयं कार्य रूप परिणमे, है ना, तब कार्य की उत्पत्ति में अनुकूल होने का आरोप जिस पर आ सके. So these karmas are only a nimit. Okay, they cannot force other souls to indulge in demerits. But if this soul, because of its own mistake of forgetting his nature, and he himself gets involved in external activities, then karma is called the instrumental cause. Okay, so it is only an instrumental cause, it is not a real cause. Okay, it is all right that this soul is of its own unhappy, not on account of consciousness obstructing or other karmas. But what is this failing of the soul? है ना? What is भूल क्या है? What is this failing of the soul? Forgetting oneself and regarding other entities as desirables and undesirables, and indulging in psychic karmas as delusions, attachment and aversion is the failing of the soul. So what is this failing of the soul, or what is the mistake that the soul has committed? Is forgetting oneself and regarding other entities as desirable and undesirable, and indulging in psychic karmas as delusion, attachment and aversion is the failing of the soul. Okay, so indulging in these feelings caused by delusion, attachment and aversion is the failing of the soul. Now what is this psychic karma, bhav karma, feeling based karma? With the fruition of karmas, these being indulges in imperfections like delusions, attachments and aversions. These are psychic karmas. These delusions, etc., the passive cause of karmic matter, get associated with our soul. They are called material karmas. So we have material karmas, we have psychic karmas. Material karma is dravya karma, okay? These delusions, that is the passive cause of karmic matter, get associated with our soul, and they are called material karmas, dravya karmas. Okay, so this dravya karma is a matter substance, and because of our impure manifestation, okay, like delusion, attachment, and aversions, these psychic karmas gets manifested. So this is called bhav karma, and bhav karma to dravya karma, and dravya karma to bhav karma. So how are we going to break the cycle? Can anybody give this answer? Because of earlier we have bounded the material karma, and the rise of that material karma has brought bhav karma. And through that bhav karma, we are binding new dravya karma. So this cycle will go on. So how do we break this cycle? Somebody was trying?
Is it by worshipping of God, then devotion to monk, self-study, abstinence, penance, and gift through that, sir?
No.
Well, it says forgetting soul, so we have to know our soul first into yourself, and like using the dravya, so it's jiv. So look into your soul first,
Right.
and make sure that you
So
focus there.
when you take shelter in your soul, okay, that means realizing that you are the soul, okay. So once you remember your soul, and then simultaneously you practice discriminative knowledge, you take shelter in this soul, and by taking shelter in this soul, you practice discriminative knowledge, and because of this discriminative knowledge, you are not binding new karmas, okay. So the old karma has come into fruition, but on the old karma coming into fruition, you are not manifesting psychic karmas. Okay, now you are not manifesting psychic karmas, but by practicing distributive knowledge, in the same situation, you are not manifesting psychic karmas, and so you are not binding new karmas. Okay, so there is a stoppage of influx because you involve yourself, you indulge yourself in your own soul, and by self-realization, you have taken the shelter of your soul. You learn to take the shelter of your soul, and because you have taken shelter of your soul, you are not binding new karmas, and the old karmas will automatically slowly go away, and one day will come, you will get liberated. Okay, you will get liberated from all types of karmas, whether it is material karma, or it is psychic karma, or it is bhava karma. So bhav karma, dravya karma, and no karma. No karma is quasi karma. Okay. So this quasi karma is the body and the other attachments with body. These are all no karma. Okay. So this is how you get rid of karmas. Okay. So dravya karma to bhav karma and bhav karma to dravya karma, this cycle can be broken down by taking refuge in the soul, by practicing discriminative knowledge. Okay. So this there will be stoppage of influx, and along with stoppage of influx, there will be no manifestation of delusion, attachments, and aversions. And when this doesn't happen, new karmas are not bound. Okay. So this is how the cycle can be broken up. And once the cycle is broken up, you can get ahead in the spiritual stages of development, and you keep going up and up, and then you achieve 12th stage, then 13th stage, and then you get liberated. So psychic karmas are delusion, attachment, and aversions, which originate in the soul, and karmic matter turned into karmas is the material karma. Originally, karmas of 8 kinds. So now these are the 8 kinds of karmas that we are going to study. So from here to last, who will read? Madam, Mitch. Yeah. May Chow. Madam May Chow. You can read further from here.
Oh, okay. I keep clicking, but it didn't work. So, okay. Yeah.
Karmas are of 8 kinds from there.
Originally, karmas of 8 kinds. Of these, sensation obstructing, perception obstructing, delusion producing, and deprivation are destructive karmas. And delight and anguish producing karmic matter, life determining karmic matter, physique making karmic matter, and status determining karmic matter are called non-destructive karmas. Chamundari, what do you mean by destructive and non-destructive karmas? The teacher Acharya Nemi Chandra, those karmas that are instrumental in destroying intrinsic qualities of the soul are called destructive. And those that do not do so are undestructive karmas. And the student Chamindari, karma obstructing consciousness must be jnanavaran, and that obstructing perception must be darshanavaran. Acharya Nemi Chandra. When the soul of its own accord hurts its consciousness attribute, that is, does not give vent to its sentience, the karma indifferently instrumental to this obstruction of full expression of sentience is called sentience obstructing karma. That is, jnana varan. Sorry. Karma. When a soul of its own accord hurts its perception attribute, that is, does not give full vent to its perceptional sentience, the karma passively instrumental to this imperfect perception is called perception obstructing karma. That is darshana vani karma. And student, and delusion? Acharya. When this being forgets one's self, regards others as his own, and is non-attentive towards one's own self, the karma then present is called delusion. That is mohaniya karma. Mohiniya karma. It is of 2 kinds, faith delusion and conduct delusion. The 3 karmic divisions of wrong faith are of faith delusions, and 25 passions are parts of conduct delusion. The student, now only one destructive karma deprivation remains, Acharya. The karma in whose presence A being is deprived of charity, strength, and enjoyment of objects, some of them once for all, and others repeatedly, is called deprivation. It is of 5 kinds. Student, now let me know about non-destructive karmas also. Acharya, yes, listen. Our soul itself becomes restless on account of delusion, and favorable and unfavorable affiliations are obtained. In that state, the karma present is called delight, and anguish producing karma. Oh, is called delight and anguish producing karma. It is of 2 kinds. 1, giving comfort. 2, giving discomfort. This being, by virtue of its own ability, remains in hellish, animal, human, or divine lives. In that state, the karma present is called life-determining karmic matter. The karma that is instrumental in the bodily formations is called physique-making karmic matter. Auspicious and inauspicious are its 2 kinds. Its other divisions are 93 in all. The karma that indifferently leads this soul to take birth in noble or ignoble families is called status-giving karma. That is Gotra karma. Noble and ignoble states of birth are its 2 kinds. Student, are there thus only 8 karmas? Acharya. There are subdivisions of these 8, which are called prakritis, and they are 148. We can understand them by divisions made from other points of views. At this stage, only this much is enough. If you want to understand these at length, you should read Gomatasa Kamakam. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good. So, see, there are 8 types of karmas. So, out of 8, we divide into 2 groups. One is obscuring karma and the other is non-obscuring karma. Obscuring karmas are those karmas which are directly causing the soul not to manifest its qualities. Okay. So these are obscuring karma which is directly not allowing the soul to manifest its good qualities. Then there are non-obscuring karmas. These karmas are related to the body and other things. Okay. So first we'll discuss the obscuring karma. So these are 4 in numbers. Knowledge obscuring karma, perception obscuring karma, deluding karma, and obstructing karma. Okay. Knowledge obscuring, perception obscuring, deluding obscuring, and obstructing obscuring. Okay. So these are the 4 types of obscuring karmas. So here is the definition. Those karmas that are instrumental in destroying intrinsic qualities of the soul are called destructive, and that do not do so are under extractive karmas. Karma obstructing consciousness must be jnana varan, and that obstructing perception must be darshana varan. When the soul of its own accord hurts is consciousness attribute. So when the soul of its own accords hurts, when the soul of its own accord hurts is consciousness attribute. That is, does not give vent to its sentience. The karma indifferently instrument to this obstruction of full expression of sentience is called sentience obstructing karma. That is Jnana Varna karma. So because of this Jnana Varna karma, the knowledge that is there in the soul, the knowledge attribute, it is not able to manifest fully. Some part is manifested and some still are hiding just because of these karmas. Okay.
I have a question. What is does not give vent to its sentience? What does that mean? On page 22,
Okay.
the Acharya said, when the soul of its own accord or whatever does not give vent to its sentience.
1 minute. Huh?
I think it's the
when the soul, last
translation.
paragraph.
Yeah.
When the soul of its own accord hurts is consciousness attribute.
Yes.
So
does not give vent. What is the original Hindi?
yeah, I'm giving you. Does not give vent to its sentience. So when the soul of its own accord hurts its consciousness attribute. Okay. So अपने ज्ञान भाव को घात करता है, अर्थात ज्ञान शक्ति को व्यक्त नहीं होने देता है. That is, it does not give vent to its sentience. That means it does not allow its potential, the knowledge potential, to get it manifested. Okay. Does not give vent to its sentience. So that means it is not allowing it to prosper. It is not allowing it to function, So that is called vent to its sentience. Sentience nature is to know. Now to stop that knowing activity, this is the function of the Jnana Varniya karma, knowledge obscuring.
Can you give example of this not allowing this sentient nature
like
to...
you have a laptop in front of you right now. Okay. Now,
Yes.
On the screen, it's written over there something, but you are not able to exactly see what it is being written. Okay. So now, because of this karma, you are not able to exactly know what are the words put in there. Okay. So then we call it that because of Jnana Varniya karma.
Yes, that's the result. But what I mean is the cause. You see, the cause is we do not allow our conscious nature to prosper.
Manifest.
So what is this?
To manifest, to know those things. Okay. So when we don't allow our conscious nature on our own, then the karma is called an instrumental cause.
Yes, but what is the example that we don't allow our conscious nature to prosper?
So that means that our nature is to know, right? But we are not knowing it. So
We're
it
not
is,
knowing.
yeah, so it is stopping our knowing activity. Okay. So from the positive end, we can say that soul on its own is not knowing. And from the conventional point of view, we say that just because of Jnana Varniya Karma, I am not able to know these things. Okay. So from the real point of view, the soul on its own is not knowing. So when the soul does not know on its own, the knowledge obscuring karma is called as instrumental cause. So two different substances performing different activities. One is the soul and the other is karma. Okay. So karma is a matter substance and soul is a consciousness substance. Okay. Both are different. So here something is happening in the soul. Soul on its own is not knowing the objects. And there is a rise of knowledge obscuring karma. Okay. So rise of
when do we not know? When is our soul not knowing?
So one is the responsibilities on us. Okay.
Give example of not knowing.
Now like as I said, there is a laptop over there and there is something written on the screen. Now you are not knowing screen, not knowing that what it is written. Okay. So when you are not knowing yourself, okay, then we will say that knowledge obscuring karma is the instrumental cause. Okay. So this is stated in this way. And same thing, if I want to talk from the conventional point of view, then I would say that because of knowledge obscuring karma, I am not able to know what is written in my screen. Understood?
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
So one is the soul's activity on its own happening, and the other is the karma playing its own role. Both of them doing independently of one another, still they have got a relationship of cause and effect. Okay? They have got a relationship of principal cause and instrumental cause. Soul is the principal cause and the karmas are instrumental cause. Okay? So this was all about the first karma called knowledge obscuring karma. Similarly, we can see perception obscuring karma. Karma obstructing consciousness must be Jnanavarana and that obstructing perception must be Dashnavarana. When the soul of its own accord hurts its consciousness attribute, does not give vent to its sentience, the karma indifferently instrumental to this obstruction of full expression of sentience is called sentience obscuring karma, Jnana Varana karma. When the soul of its own accord hurts its perception attribute, does not give full vent to its perceptional sentience, the karma passively instrumental to this imperfect perfection is called perfection obstructing karma, darshna varniya karma. Okay. So there are 5 subdivisions of Jnana karma and there are 9 subdivisions of darshna varniya karma. So we have studied 2, balance 6 will take up next week. Today our time is over. We have already read the chapter. Now I'll be just explaining and maybe within half an hour we'll complete this explanation and then we will move on to the 8th chapter, the 12 reflections. If you have time, you should go through these 12 wishful reflections, and we will be studying about this in the next class. And then we move on to the last chapter about the 7 fundamental elements. Okay. So whatever we have studied.
Rajeshji,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. Next time, can we also go through karma is instrumental cause and soul is not? I'm not very clear on that. So if we can go through that again next time.
Yes, we are going to, I'll explain you the everything. But in meantime, you prepare a chart of 8 karmas. Okay. So you have to first write karma, then 2 divisions. One is obscuring karma and then non-obscuring karmas. Again, under obscuring karma, you have to write 4 karmas. Okay. Knowledge obscuring karma, perception obscuring karma, and then we have this knowledge, perception, then deluding obscuring karma, and the obstructing obscuring karma. Then non-obscuring karma. Coming to non-obscuring karma, there are again 4: feeling producing karma, lifespan determining karma, physic forming non-obscuring karma, and status determining non-obscuring karma. Okay. So 4 and 4. Now this way you can make up a chart, and of course I will be explaining all the 8 karmas again. And but if you prepare this chart, at least you will be knowing the names. Okay. Now for each karma, you have to write how many subdivisions are there. So the first one, knowledge obscuring, it has got 5 subdivisions. Then perception obscuring has 9 divisions. Deluding obscuring karma has got 28. And the last one, obstructing karma has got 5. Okay. So 5 plus 9, 14, 14 plus 28, 42, 42 plus 5, so 47. So there are 47 total obstructing karmas. Now moving on to non-obscuring karmas. Okay. So feeling producing is of 2 types only. Then lifespan determining, lifespan Ayu. These are also 2 types. Physic forming, these are of 93 types. And status determining is again of 2 types. Okay. So 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6 and 93, 99. So we have lifespan determining is 4 types. Okay. Physic forming is 93 types. Status determining is of 2 types, and feeling producing is of 2 types. Okay. So all these put together is 101. So 101 plus 47 is 148 subdivisions of karmas. Okay. So this was all about karmas. We will be completing it in the next class, but in the meantime, you can revise this. Okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
These books, should we apply or it will come by itself?
You have
For the
not
books?
filled up the book ordering form?
No, I have not.
You have paid the fees?
I've paid. Actually, I was in the Hindi version, and
Okay.
since I have changed it, so I
I
have
think you will be
asked.
receiving. You will be receiving the Hindi books.
I
Now you.
received the Hindi books. Since I
Okay.
have changed to English, I don't
Okay.
remember the name. I rang up someone in the
O-
group.
Okay.
who's responsible for all this. She said, yes, it will be coming. That is about
Okay.
1 month,
So then
one.
that will be, yeah, it takes some time to
I
come.
did not. I need not apply again.
No. You
Okay,
now manage with the PDFs you have. Okay.
right, sir.
And you
Yes,
will be receiving the physical one. You are in India, no?
yes, sir. Yes.
So you will
Very
receive by courier. Yeah.
okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. And regarding the examination,
Hmm.
the format earlier shared, I think,
Hmm.
acha. So where can I get it, sir?
Which one? The whole format, orals
Yeah, I
and
think you shared
yeah.
the.
So
So
again, I will
where can?
sharing. No problem. I will be again sharing, and
Okay.
I explained it also in the first introduction class.
Yes.
But no problem. I will be sharing it again, and that will be all done. Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry about the exams. It will all very easy, and
And acha. So
yeah.
just I had a doubt.
Hmm.
Is it just ticking off or explanations also we have to
So
give in
objectives
written?
in written
Ah,
that you have to attempt is all objectives. You
objective
just, yeah,
first semester.
MCQs, yeah, you have to, four options will be given. You have to tick it, which one is correct and not correct and all that.
Right. And
So
descriptive. It's not descriptive first time.
no descriptive
Oh,
questions anytime. Not throughout
okay.
10 semesters, it's all objectives that you have to give. Uh,
And oral.
Orals will be there, and there is some concept clarity that you have to write.
Ach. And how long will that be? Concept here.
So it will be with every paper. The day we complete Vitrag Vigyan 1, I will
Right.
give you that homework, and I will explain you
Great.
also how to write about it. Okay? Don't
Okay.
worry.
Thank
Every,
you
Yeah,
so much,
I,
sir.
I have a
Thank you for
quick
giving your time.
question too.
yeah.
I have a quick question too.
Uh,
Uh, I had prepared the Raksha Bandhan for my Hindi class, but
okay.
since I switch here, do you want me to join next week and finish my assignment that you gave me?
No. Then you do it here only. I'll give you Raksha
Okay.
Bandhan here in English. No problem.
Oh, okay. So do you want me to then do it here or
Yes, you have
over
to do it
there?
here only because you have to start forming habit of presenting it in English. So
Sure.
presenting
Yeah,
there
that's
won't serve
easy
our
for
purpose.
me
Yeah,
anyway.
no problem.
Yeah.
We'll do it in
Okay.
here. Regarding the assignments, you don't worry at all. It's all my responsibility. I will get it done. But
Mhm.
I would request you to put your whole energy, time, focus in understanding the concepts. That's all. Rest
All
all
right.
will be
Thank you
done.
very much.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll
Thank
meet
you,
up
sir.
next week.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है 9 बार नौकार मंत्र गिनेंगे जय जी
Jai Jinanja. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.